Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to another episode of A Day in the Life. Today we have Project Italia in the house. It's one of my own. I finally got some time for the old girl because I've been dealing with these similar problems for clients, but I never got time to do my own, and that's because there's not really much time at the shop. So this is a very simple, straightforward mechatronic piece of equipment here. It sits like this on the vehicle. So the manual release tab, which is this guy here, is on the inside. So in the event that the lock jams, you can always pry it using a screwdriver or some other sharp object. It has a motor that sits up here this way. So the motor runs the spindle, that guy there, which then turns the cog, and there's some gear reduction in there that then clicks the latch. So how it works, basically, let me just try and trip the latch for you to see. When you shut the trunk, that goes into place like that. Then the motor assembly turns in here to release it. So what then happens is the motor will run, the cogs will turn, and it will push this white guy here. Let me do it by hand, actuate by hand, push it and release. Let's try that again, shall we? So tailgate closed, the latch goes into the lock position, then the motor sitting here will turn the wheel, which then pushes the manual assembly out and open. So what I did find out is there is some amount of water ingress. I don't know if you can tell from the shot, but there is some amount of water ingress here. I've tried to clean it out, but you can see this greenish toothpastey looking thing. That affected the connectors, and it also killed the motor. I had to disassemble it and just clean the brushes and inspect the stator, the rotor, and it works. It works now. It works okay, as tested by my very ingenious method of direct wiring. Shall we experiment and see whether it still works? So pole on pole, and voila. Kids, do not try this at home. You need to be an electrical engineer. It's a 12-volt motor. There we go. So this is after service. Previously it wasn't working, which was not so great. So yes, that was the main issue. Corrosion had got into the assembly somehow and kind of killed it. So I also took the chance to check the internals. I'll put in some fresh grease here, but basically it's a straightforward piece of kit. These two terminals at the bottom are for the motor. They are what is powered by the body control module to kick the motor. These two guys at the top are the door open switch assembly. So that tells the BCM that the trunk is open and will throw a light on your dash or whatever. Yeah, so it's pretty simple, straightforward. Usually when these guys fail, the mechanical bit is okay. The only problem is on the electronic side. And it's a very, very simple piece of kit, as I said already. So shall we just try and reassemble it for the sake of testing? So the motor has two splines over here, which then go and make contact with the electrical pins in there, like that. Push it into place. And then, of course, the motor itself will make contact with the cogs in there. And it has a cover. It has a cover that goes over like that. Yes. So, for the sake of the video, of course, I'll have to take this apart to lubricate it again. But it simply clicks into place like that. So now, again, we shall mimic the trunk closing. Right? So that's the lock position. Then I shall use my ever so genius electrical contact to try and click it open. So let me just be testy with this. And forgive me for trying to be a cameraman and an engineer at the same time. I've always said you guys need to buy me video equipment. Alright, so let's trigger it and see. Okay, latch is open. And we have saved ourselves about whatever amount of money is spent on these guys. So yeah, if you have a Nissan Dualis, Qashqai, I think the Note, they all share this assembly. So it should be a straightforward fix, and it's something very quick and painless to do. but of course I'll charge you good money to get it fixed. And on that bombshell, I'd like to say thank you again for watching and wasting your time today to see my rants and raves. Until the next time, peace. Since we're here, I figured we might just as well demonstrate this in the flesh. So on the tailgate side of the vehicle, you have the 4-pin connector, black and gray on my left, motor assembly, black and green on my right, door open or trunk lamp switch. And that is something I'd like to demonstrate now. The trunk lamp is located over there. It will not come on until the assembly is plugged in, which I shall now do like that. And voila, light comes on, because this completes the circuit. So while we're here, let's also test that it works okay. The assembly is held in place by two 10mm bolts. Be careful with these because they break very easily as they tend to rust. I think you can even tell these are rusting. I'll need to give them a dab of copper grease to help protect them. And using my also brilliant trunk latch tool, let's lock this in place like that. So now we are locked. So this wiring goes through the body control module, which manages central locking and also the trunk. So when I press this, it should release, and voila, it does. Let's try that again, shall we? So awesome tool for the trunk lock. Click in place, so that's locked. And this time let's watch the action as we unlock. Great, it works. So this can actually save you quite a bit of money if you're brave enough to come through this and do it. While we are here, we shall also check the rest of the harness just to make sure everything is good. The reverse lamps also reside here. Probably take this out and clean them as well, and call it a day. And for real now, on that bombshell, we'd like to say good night.